And welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video because I have a lot to share. So let's go ahead and dive right in because I have an update regarding new listings, housing inventory, home prices, price reductions, and much, much more across the United States here. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I have a lot to share. So this is a new report from Redfin. They actually just posted this a couple of days ago. And this is for the 4-week period ending October 16th. So for the 4 weeks ending October 16th, this is the latest housing market update here. So let's go ahead and dive right in here regarding home prices first. So the median sold price, by the way, this is the average for 400 plus US metro areas. The median sold price actually increased to $367,000, up 6% year over year, and on par with the previous week. Also, Redfin is noting that there's only 3 areas or 3 metros in the US where home prices have decreased compared to 1 year ago. That was in Oakland, where prices decreased by 4%, San Francisco down by 2%, and also a new one here, Philadelphia down by 1% compared to the same time period in 2021. And here's a chart showing the median sold price in the US compared to 2021 and 2020. So right now, home prices are up by 6.4% on a year-over-year basis, but still down from the year-to-date highs, or actually all-time record highs, that we saw more or less in June. Also, it's interesting to see here that home prices, or the median sold price, has been more or less flat over the past couple of months, ever since really August. One thing I want to mention regarding this, and I talk about this on the channel quite often, is when we're talking about any stats related to houses that actually have sold or closed escrow, that's a lagging indicator what our housing market was like approximately 1 to 2 months ago. So let me give you a quick example. So let's just say a house closed escrow on October 16th. That was when the home seller accepted an offer from a home buyer 1 month prior. That was back on more or less the middle of September. So as a home buyer, you generally can lock in your mortgage rate soon after you get your offer accepted. I would say probably the average time for when an offer is accepted to when the house actually finalizes or the sale is finalized is approximately 30 days. So if you get your offer accepted on September 16th, that was when rates were approximately 5.5%, if I'm not mistaken. And right now, rates are actually over 7%. So what we're seeing right now, especially regarding houses that actually have sold, is we have not seen the true effects regarding huge increases in rates. So rates again are above 7% and have been more or less above 7% ever since the 1st of October. So again, this is a lagging indicator. Any stats regarding houses actually have closed escrow here. So if I had to guess, I would say that due to our seasonality of our housing market, plus a lack of housing affordability and this giant increase in rates, this should decrease in the months ahead. In other words, I wouldn't be surprised to see home prices decrease in the months ahead, given the fact that rates are so high right now. And going back to Redfin's key housing market takeaways here, the monthly mortgage payment on the median asking price home climbed to a new all-time record high of $2,552 per month at the current, keyword there, current 6.94% rate. As you guys may know, if you guys follow the channel, this rate here at 6.94% is the average according to Freddie Mac. And Freddie Mac posts a weekly survey regarding rates. Again, at the time of this video, rates are actually well over 7% and not 6.94%. Therefore, these numbers right here are actually a lot worse, taking into consideration that rates are approximately 7.3% right now. In any case, using that rate at 6.94%, that's a 50% increase from 1 year ago when the average monthly housing payment was $1,704, and now it's $2,552. And this lack of housing affordability, an increase of 50% in the average monthly mortgage payment, is one main reason why I believe our housing market is in big trouble due to a lack of housing affordability in the US. Meanwhile, the median asking price on newly listed houses increased 8% year over year to just under $380,000. And here's a chart showing the big increase in the average monthly mortgage payment, again up by 49.8% compared to 1 year ago. And the housing payment here has absolutely been skyrocketing this year, well above 2021 and 2020. Back in 2021, the average monthly housing payment was more or less flat from April all the way until the end of the year. This year, much different. And here's a chart showing the median asking price increasing by 8.1% on a year-over-year basis here. It started to increase here more or less in, I would say, the end of August until we hit October. Again, in October, rates surpassed 7% for the first time in many, many years. But back on August 1st, rates were around 5.05%. And for much of August, rates did not surpass 6%. That's why we saw a slight increase in the median asking price home from more or less August until we hit October. That's why we had this short increase in asking prices during this time frame right here. Okay, let's change gears slightly and talk about pending home sales, new listings, and active listing inventory or housing supply. Take a look at this because this is pretty insane. Pending home sales are down 32% on a year-over-year basis, the largest decline since April of 2020. What happened in April 2020? We had more or less stay-at-home orders across the entire United States, more or less. And that caused a big decrease of contracts being signed between buyers and sellers. So a big decrease, 32% on a year-over-year basis here. New listings were down 19% from 1 year ago, the biggest decline since May of 2020. Also, active listings, which of course is the number of houses listed for sale, fell 1% from the prior 4-week period, but on a year-over-year basis, they rose by 5%. And here's a chart showing this giant decrease in pending home sales, down by 32% on a year-over-year basis. And really ever since around September, this has been decreasing greatly. In other words, home buying demand is decreasing greatly, so we're not seeing enough contracts being signed between buyers and sellers. And what's also pretty eye-opening to me regarding this giant decrease or fallout in contracts being signed is that according to Realtor.com as well as AltosResearch.com, we have approximately 35% more houses listed for sale right now compared to 1 year ago. And despite this giant increase in the number of houses for sale, we're seeing a giant decrease of contracts being signed, which of course is telling me that home buying demand is decreasing greatly. Now here's another trend we've been seeing for the past several months now. New listings are down compared to 1 year ago. As you can see right here, more or less ever since July, we've had fewer new listings compared to the same time period in 2021. And again, we're down by 18.5% on a year-over-year basis. Now here's what Redfin is reporting regarding active listings or housing supply, which again, do not agree to Altos or Realtor.com. And I'll share some stats with you guys here in just a little bit. But according to Redfin here, active listing inventory is up by 5.1% on a year-over-year basis. When you go onto Realtor.com, their most recent update, which was actually posted last Thursday, was for the week ending October 15th. And on a year-over-year basis, they're reporting that active listings are up by 34%, as you can see right here. Also, AltosResearch.com, they have a really good YouTube channel if you guys want to check them out. They are also reporting a gain on a year-over-year basis up by about 35%. Because right now, they're reporting approximately 572,000 houses are listed for sale right now. Compare that to 1 year ago, there was just under 423,000 houses. In other words, by my dumb math here, that's an increase by about 35% on a year-over-year basis. And I mention this because this is vastly different than what Redfin's reporting. For whatever reason, they're only reporting gains of 5.1%. I would say more importantly, though, is that Redfin's reporting that active listings have been decreasing really ever since August, which is different compared to Altos. Because according to Altos here, for the week ending October 21st, we have about 572,000 houses for sale. But back in mid-August of this year, there was approximately 550,000. So they're reporting that inventory has been increasing really ever since the start of this year, ever since March of this year, which of course is vastly different than Redfin reporting a decrease over the past couple of months. In any case, let's go ahead and move on. Redfin is reporting that the month supply right now is sitting at a 3.1 month supply. What this more or less means is that at the current sales pace right now, if we were to have no more new listings hitting the market, then all the houses listed for sale would be sold in 3.1 months. In fact, this is the highest levels since July of 2020, as you can see right here. In regards to pending home sales, approximately 34.9% of all contracts being signed here went under contract within the first 2 weeks. In other words, the house sold very quickly here. That's actually below the last couple of years, though, when the ratio was about 40%. Now it's 34.9%. Also, for houses selling very, very quickly, within 1 week, that represented approximately 23% of all pending home sales. Again, down from last year and also 2020 as well, though. In regards to how fast houses are selling right now, according to Redfin right now, the median days in the market is just under 34 days. Compared to 1 year ago, houses are selling about 8 days slower compared to 2021. Back at this time in 2021, the median days in the market was only 26 days. Now it's 34 days. It's also worth noting that compared to 2019, though, back at this time in 2019, it took around 47 days to sell a house. Now again, it's only 34 days. Redfin is also reporting that approximately 30% of houses that actually have sold, again, a lagging indicator, approximately 30% sold above the seller's final asking price. Which means that approximately 70% are selling at or below the seller's final price. The key word here, though, is final, though, because they're not including houses with price reductions in regards to this ratio here. All right, changing gears, let's talk about the share of houses listed with price reductions. This is according to altosresearch.com. So for the 7-day average right now, it's 42.53%. In other words, approximately 43% of all houses listed for sale have had price reductions. This is vastly different compared to, the middle of March, March 18th to be exact, when the share was only 17%. Now it's basically more or less 43%. Also, the share at 43% right now is far above or far higher compared to last year when the share was approximately 28%. Back in 2020, it was 26%, and pre-COVID back in 2019, it was 36%. So the share of price drops right now is at least a 3-year high. Also, according to Redfin, the average sale price to list price ratio for the 4 weeks ending October 16th is more or less 99%. Meaning that houses that sold during this time frame sold for about 1% less than the seller's asking price. So houses on average selling below the seller's asking price. This is vastly different compared to, let's just call it May of this year, when the ratio was actually approximately 103%. So houses selling for 3% above the seller's asking price during this time frame. Also, the ratio right now is at its lowest levels since August of 2020, because back in 2021, the ratio did not dip below 99%. In fact, at this time last year, in 2021, the ratio was over 100%, meaning home sellers were selling their houses for over their asking price on average. And as I mentioned in my video from the other day, Redfin's home buyer demand index fell 31% on a year-over-year basis. This again is an index which measures requests for home tours by Redfin agents and other home buying services by Redfin as well. So in other words, demand for home tours by Redfin agents has been falling big time, again down by 31% on a year-over-year basis here. And this fallout in home buying demand is likely due to this giant increase in rates. Rates have increased approximately 4 percentage points over the last 12 months alone. And with that said, please comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you guys got any value in this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you guys have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.